Limbo, the first layer in hell, where these fine monkeys are just chilling. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. These are the unbaptized, the unvirtuous, those born before Christ, stuck in the layer of limbo. Lust, the second layer of hell, where winds blow profusely, out of control, never ceasing. These in this layer of hell have no choice but to get blown around for all eternity. There is no rest for these who lie within the second layer of hell, lust. The third layer, gluttony, where eternal snow falls and cold is forever. These sinners have been punished to live in a land of frost. The sinners of gluttony. The fourth layer of hoarding and spending, where they must push against each other for all eternity. With the layer of hoarding and spending. The fifth layer of hell, wrath and sullenness, where the sinners must aggressively pop balloons eternally on river Styx, with no ceasing to this violence. They must pop forever. Tearing and gripping at the balloons, as though they were the worst thing to ever exist in all of monkey history. The fifth layer of hell, wrath and sullenness. The sixth layer of hell, the layer of the heretics. This is the layer where those who have committed heresy lay in their tombs, forever to be burned. Eternal flame, eternal pain. The sixth layer of hell where the heretics lay. With the seventh layer in Dante's Inferno, we have violence. Violence against others, violence against yourself, and violence against God. The first layer of violence is violence against others. You boil in a pit of boiling blood, and if you try to escape, centaurs will shoot you back in. Monkeys, in this case, shoot you back in the boiling blood. Get even more punished than you would have been before. The second circle of violence is violence against yourself, where you become trees being eaten away by harpies, which are pigeons in this case. And as they eat you, you can feel the pain of every little nibble. This is violence against yourself. The last violence is violence against the gods, or God. the sun god. In this case, it's what the monkeys worship. In this circle of violence, you are standing on burning sands while it is raining fire. Fire from everywhere, burning your feet and your head as you have to step on the sands and as the burning rain rains down upon you. The seventh layer of Dante's Inferno, the circles of violence. In the eighth circle, the circle of fraud, there are 10 different sections, where the first one holds panderers and seducers. In this layer, the sinners must, in an orderly fashion, follow a circle around and around, over and over again, constantly being thrashed by demons, non-stop cycle, constant pain, where they must circle around forever, no freedom. This, the first section in the 8th layer of hell, panderers and seducers. This is the second Bolgia of the 8th layer of hell. The second Bolgia in fraud. This is where the flatterers lay upside down head first in this pit of monkey doo-doo. This is their eternal punishment for over-flattery. This is what they get for committing such a sin of fraud. The third Bolgia of fraud. This, like the other, has the sinners upside down in a pit of excrement. However, this time, they are in their baptismal fonts respectively, being burned from the feet. The size of the flame differs depending on how bad the sin. Bigger the flame, the more sin. Forever upside down, forever burning. This is the third Bolgia of fraud. This is the next Bolgia in the layer of fraud. This is where the prophesiers and the sorcerers stay. This is where they are punished. Their punishment is to have their heads turned around so that they may not see the future anymore. They can only see the past. However, you can't exactly turn their heads around, so we're just gonna pretend like they are. Anyway, they are punished in this way because of how much they tried to look into the future. And now, no longer can they be false god. No longer can they possess this ultimate power of immortal. This Bolgia, the layer of fraud in Dante's Inferno. Now, in the fifth Bogia of the layer of fraud, we have the businessmen who used their power for personal gain. And as we know, Dantes Inferno really likes boiling stuff, so these businessmen who frauded their way to personal wealth now boil in tar and pits, where they will forever burn. And if they were to try to escape, there are sentries with harpoons making sure they cannot leave, for their selfish deeds has earned them a spot in this fifth layer of the Bogia, fraud. Here in the sixth Bogia of fraud, these sinners are hypocrites. Their punishment is to walk around with heavy golden lead robes, these robes weighing them down with every step, but it is a representation of their hypocrisy, something like that. This is the sixth Bogia of fraud. This is the seventh Bogia of fraud. This is where thieves are punished. These thieves are bound by their past. Give me a sec. There we go. These thieves are to forever be tormented by snakes coming to bite them and other reptilians who wish to do them harm, as they eternally walk the path, forever being attacked, bitten, and harmed by these reptiles and serpents. This is the seventh Bogia of fraud, thievery. Here in the eighth Bogia of fraud, we have the counselors of fraud, those who purposefully bring the downfall of others, those who give false advice, those who support others in devious, malicious ways. Here their punishment is to be eternally burned in pillars of flames. This is the eighth Bogia of fraud. Now for the ninth layer of fraud. For those who have promoted scandal, schism, and discourse among others, these sinners must follow a circular path, bearing wounds fitting to those of which sin they have committed. Circling this path, being punished, injured by a demon with deadly swords. This is the sin of promoting discourse, scandal, schism. These sinners be eternally punished. This is the ninth Bogia of fraud. The 10th and final bogia of fraud. This is the layer where balloons have committed fraud of counterfeit. They have lied about money. They have made fake money. They have pretended to be what they are not. Therefore, these balloons will get punished. They will no longer have these special counterfeit qualities. They will be reduced down into sickness, making them weaker. This is their punishment for being falsifiers, imposters, and creators of counterfeit. To be reduced and punished. This is the final phobia of fraud. The 9th and final layer of Dante's Inferno. This is the layer of treachery and betrayal. Those who turned against their kinship. Their punishment is to be frozen deep in ice. Those who have committed worse betrayal have been frozen down deeper into the ice. They have been betrayed by hell because they have betrayed those who trusted them. This is the final layer of hell. Betrayal. And then here we have Satan Monkey. He is evil, ruler of the 9 hells.